There wasn't any sense of warning, I don't think. And we've honestly never had anything like this that could have prepared us for what happened. Me and him both have the utmost respect for water, and I didn't know that it could do what it did.
I will say it's gonna be pretty rough, guys.
This is 3 weeks out, and and they've been in here and cleaned this up a lot. We've been good friends, but not like super tight. But we've since become probably best friends now.
Yeah, it definitely changed everything. When you go through something this hard, I got to know Kyle on a different level that I know only people in my family.
I always tell people this is the greatest place in America to live. And one of those reasons is nothing bad really ever happens here. And then it happened.
We continue to track Tropical Storm Helene.
We've got lots of heavy rain that's moving out to the west, now has 45-mile-per-hour winds. We have seen now come across a flash flood warning that is labeled as emergency, catastrophic.
If I could have ran as far away from it as I could, I would have, but I couldn't. The landslides and the winds and the other things were pretty terrifying. So I was in my house on Boland's Creek. Water started to crest the hill there, and I wasn't going to be in my property and be in the house if it was going to get took away. So I got in my truck, drove up the hill, and got my neighbors out, and where we went and sat, a landslide hit us. Me and my neighbors were kind of sitting out here, and they were sitting where there's a road that goes up there, and I was sitting a little bit behind where Brown's truck was, and I just saw a freight train hit this car and take them off the bank here. Thought I was going to go back and find 2 dead people, like 100%. The 2 people that lived were in that white vehicle, and that's a black car that's beside it. There was probably this much space that didn't get crushed, and they somehow got out. One of them with a broken back. When that slide happened to me, I knew that this one was different, because we don't have them here. There's one that up on CeeLo Knob that happened in '77, that's it.
And now we can't even count.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, there's unbelievable amounts of mudslides.
His experience is a little different.
Yeah, this is Cattail Creek Road right here. So the water, it's a little 10-foot creek way over there, behind these trees, behind that truck and everything, and it came all the way up through here. And you can see my house is pretty well screwed. Where I live in Cattail, it was already flooding the night before, and I knew right then I already had a bag set in my truck, and water, and my daughter's pillows, and my dog bed, and I put everyone in the truck and drove up to the top of the property as far as I could get. I knew I wanted my whole family and my dog and everyone in my truck, so I could I knew that where we were going to be, it may not be comfortable, but I knew we were going to be safe. And we just woke up and sat there and watched it, and it just kept coming up till it took the house. House is cleared out now, but this house is 130 years old. It's been here since 1905. Those are the original wood floors. It was water's up to here. Destruction in here. I know. This is my daughter's room. I had to watch her climb up that ladder with mud up to her shins and get her stuffed animals off there. And there's still some mud under there. Everything was destroyed in here. It's so sad seeing her like this. It's just, it's devastating. I had to find a roof for my family and then all the immediate stuff. There's no communication in pretty much the entire West North Carolina and into the neighboring states. I knew I had to go find someone, and Kyle was a close friend, and I said, I need to make sure Kyle's all right. And so when I hiked down, he was the first person I saw that I knew. After some tears and some hugs, we just went back to my family, got me back to my family, make sure they was okay, and then we got out after all that mess. Of course, you know, my focus was on my family to make sure they're okay, and they were okay. And Kyle turns and looks at me and goes, well, if you're healthy and you're able, jump in the truck. We come from a pretty tight valley. It's very steep. We just put our heads down and focused on where we were. We went into the fire departments first because we knew they were going to be hubs. And so we asked them, do you guys need anything? What do you need? And they had needs. And so we said, we'll get it. All the roads were gone, and you couldn't get into these spots. Whether we had to drive side-by-sides across 50-yard wide rivers that were borderline, carrying our side-by-side away to get supplies to a place, or just hike materials up into upper parts of Cattail that were completely unreachable. And every time you were doing one of these runs, you know, we'd start with one person in our side-by-side and then have 5.
Yeah, a lot of people were walking in 8 or 10 miles to get up there to go find their family members. I drove a lot of people that I didn't know if we were going to find their family members alive or dead.
There were a lot of people that lost
Yeah.
family members. There's a lot of positive moments. Of course, there's a ton of positive moments. We weren't doing anything different than every other valley was doing.
And I think that's what got us through too, was the good stories that we were hearing.
I saw teenagers hauling generators across rivers to get to their grandparents. That's the people who are around here, you know.
I think the biggest thing is we need to not forget about this. It's going to be a while before anything's normal here.
After losing everything and we were in that truck, I looked around in my truck and my family was there, and I felt like, okay, this is all I need anyway. You know, we always talk about knowing what the important things are, you know, your family, your relationships, your friends, and all that kind of stuff. And if anything, this storm kind of proved to me that just I wasn't full of shit.